Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram. Continuing our contemplation on Vichara Marga, path of self-inquiry. Yesterday we discussed two paths. Sri Ramana Maharshi was asked a question: what are the different approaches to self-realization? Sri Ramana Maharshi said there are only two paths for self-realization. Path of self-inquiry or path of self-surrender. So these two paths I discussed yesterday as Atma Vichara Marga and cosmological path. Let us understand these paths through an example. We see an ocean. In ocean, many waves are there. Waves keep coming up. A big wave, small wave, larger wave, a ferocious wave, a gentle wave. Different types of waves rise and fall in ocean. The waves are individual consciousness or individuals like jivas, like us. Me, you, all these are like waves. These waves rise and fall. Their life is momentary. They appear and disappear. So the waves are jivas like us. When we come into existence, we see other waves. We see the world. Okay? Seeing the other waves, seeing the world causes a lot of stress. Because I know as a wave, my life is very short. I can disappear anytime. I may hit the shore, or I may hit a rock, and wave can disappear. So there is always constant fear of disappearance of the wave. In case of jivas or individual consciousness like us, soul, the form can disappear anytime. And that fear constantly drives our life. The fear of death, fear of annihilation, fear of going back to non-existence. So then the small wave sees a bigger wave and feels jealous. The bigger wave is more powerful. I am weak. So there's a jealousy, there's a fear. The jealousy is in terms of I am an individual. I see somebody who is brighter, richer than me, more powerful than me. I feel jealous. There's a jealousy. There's a fear. There's a constant stress of jealousy, fear, a fear of getting fear of dying. Okay. Jealousy that a bigger wave may come and overtake me. I may lose my identity.
That's fear. Fear of losing identity.
Fear of losing identity. The competition. Alright? So the competition for various kinds, various requirements, for a job, for survival, for a name, for a fame, for everywhere there is a competition. And in the competition we see always the stronger one, the stronger and more powerful one wins. So the smaller wave always has a fear of the bigger wave. Bigger wave of course has another bigger wave to worry about. So like that, the fear is constant. The jealousy is there. And this creates a lot of stress in the individuals, jivas, individual souls. And this is what is called samsara. Samsara means a constantly changing reality which creates stress and fear. How can a jiva overcome the stress? How can it become free from the fear? How can it become free from the jealousy? Can an individual wave, a jiva like me, have a peaceful life in spite of the turbulent ocean? The ocean is called samsara. So this is a key question. Waves, I'm afraid. So now the wave has a choice. Now the wave has a choice. Wave can recognize, a small wave can recognize, or a big wave can recognize. All of us belong to ocean. Okay. So we are part of the bigger ocean. In fact, is there a boundary between the ocean and the wave? There's no possibility of boundary between the ocean and the wave. There's no possible wave and ocean. The boundary is only conceptual. Really, you cannot draw a line and say this is where the wave starts, there the ocean starts. So we are all part of the ocean. So when you understand big wave, small wave, all are part of the ocean, there is a feeling of connectedness, love. So the bigger wave can say the smaller wave is my brother. The smaller wave can say bigger wave is my elder brother. We all belong to the ocean. When that understanding comes, the fear, the jealousy is replaced by love. We are all connected through ocean. But still, the differences remain. I am big and you are small. It's like the siblings of a same parent. Some 2-3 siblings are there. They know that both of them are from the father, same father and mother. We are brothers. But there's a rivalry between the sibling. There's called sibling rivalry. I get more, you get less. Right? So seeing that oneness or seeing that connectedness, I am water. So as water, the bigger wave or smaller wave or ocean, all are water. We are all water. Okay. As water, we are all, there's no difference between us. Then the mind settles down. There's no jealousy now, there's no fear. And wave can die. As a wave I can die, but water can never die. Water is perpetual. As wave I can vanish, but as water I don't vanish. I am eternal. This understanding, when the wave gets, there's a deep peace. It's called parashanti. The spiritual journey is journey from the emotional disturbance like fear, jealousy, hatred to a deep love, feeling of love. And feeling of love also is not the end of journey. Okay, deep peace is the end of spiritual journey. You understood how? So initially, when you see the differences, small wave and big wave, the differences, there's a fear, there's a jealousy, there's a hatred, there's an anxiety, emotional disturbances. But when you see that all of us belong to the ocean, okay, there is love, but still competition is there because still we are different. But when you see, when all of us are the water, as water, I have no birth, no death. As water, big wave, small wave, everything is one reality. When this understanding is there, there's a deep peace. So this is the spiritual journey from emotional disturbance called samsara to love to peace. Okay. So now let us map these water, ocean, and wave to the Vedantic terms. The water is pure consciousness or awareness called Parabrahman, Parabrahma, or the supreme reality, absolute reality. Parabrahma or absolute reality. The ocean also is water, but it looks expanded, big. It is called Saguna Brahma or Ishvara or Bhagavan, God. Wave is a small form of water, is an appearance in ocean, and that's the individual consciousness of Jiva, like me and you. Okay. So the terminology, the water, ocean, and wave, I'm mapping to Vedantic terminologies. The water is absolute reality, Parabrahma, supreme reality. Whatever happens to the wave or ocean, nothing happens to the water. There's a big wave or small wave, water is not affected at all. Right? That is called Parabrahma. The ocean is called Ishvara, the Bhagavan, one who is ruling the world of all the jivas, all the individual waves. It's a collection of waves is called Ishvara, Bhagavan. And waves is nothing but jiva, like me, you, a plant, an animal, all these are jivas, consciousness. Is the mapping clear? So now let us understand the relationship between these two, these three. All waves are nothing but water. Is it true? All waves are nothing but water. But water is not a wave. Right? All jivas are nothing but Parabrahman. But Parabrahman is not a jiva. Is this relationship clear? That's why people get confused. You are Brahman and they say, how can I be God? Yes, what I said is you are God, but God is not you. Otherwise not true. God is much bigger than you. All waves are nothing but water. But water is not a wave. Water is much larger than much more than the wave. This is clear? So all jivas in essence are nothing but in essence are Parabrahman. All jivas are nothing but a form appearance in ocean. You cannot separate out ocean and a wave. Correct? You cannot draw a line where the ocean is ending, where the wave is ending. So jiva is nothing but Ishvara. But Ishvara is not a jiva. Is that clear? Jiva is Ishvara in essence. But Ishvara or Bhagavan is not a jiva. Because Ishvara is a larger collection of all the waves. Right? So the Vedantic teaching is Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. You means you are a jiva.
Waves are Parabrahman and waves are Ishvara also.
Yeah. So Vedantic teaching is Tat Tvam Asi. Tat means Brahman. Tvam means jiva. Okay. So you know what is jiva. I am jiva. I am individual consciousness. In the example of ocean, it's a wave. Right? Tvam means jiva. So for a jiva, what is told is tat tvam. Tat means Brahman. Brahman has two meanings. Saguna Brahma is called Ishvara. Nirguna Brahma called water. Saguna Brahma is called Ishvara, which is ocean. Nirguna Brahma or Parabrahma means water. Absolute reality. So the jiva we have to take in the first level of meaning that you are nothing but ocean. You are drawing a line between you and ocean and saying you are wave. Reality, you are a wave ocean only. Right? So Jiva is nothing but Ishvara at the first level. Okay, when Jiva understands I am Ishvara, then there is love. Because all are connected as ocean, all waves are connected through ocean. So there is a love, which is called Ishvara, Bhagavan. So Tvam Padartha, Tvam means you, Jiva, which is a wave. Tat means Brahman. The Brahman has the first level of meaning is called Ishvara. You are Ishvara or Bhagavan. So then you should not feel worried about it, because how I can be Bhagavan? A wave is nothing but ocean only. But ocean is not a wave, the other way. Bhagavan is not a Jiva. Bhagavan is all more powerful, all big. But Jiva is nothing but Brahman only, Ishvara only. The separation is conceptual. Okay. So at the first level of meaning, Jiva is Ishvara. Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Padartha has two meanings. One is Ishvara, first level, which is manifest reality, the Lord, Bhagavan. The second level of meaning of Tat Padartha is you are Parabrahma, the supreme reality, water, pure consciousness. Okay. So Parabrahma is not a Jiva. Please understand it. It's not the other way is not true. But Jiva is Parabrahma. To give another example, there is a necklace, chain, a ring, and various other ornaments. The ring feels very jealous of the necklace. You are sitting very close to the neck of the master. I am sitting very far off. Okay. So they are nothing but forms. When ring and necklace both understand that I am gold, the jealousy will not be there. There are forms of gold. Ring is also gold, necklace is also gold, but gold is not a ring, gold is not a necklace. This we should not confuse. So Vedantic teaching, we should not confuse this. Jiva is Shiva, but Shiva is not Jiva. Shiva takes one role of Jiva, but Shiva is much larger than Jiva.
Shiva takes role of Jiva.
Yeah, each form is a role. Okay, so the ocean takes the form of a wave, but ocean can take the form of many waves. Each wave is a Jiva. Jiva is nothing but, wave is nothing but ocean, ocean is nothing but water. Jiva is nothing but Saguna Brahma or Ishvara, which is nothing but Parabrahma. From that perspective, we have to understand Vedantic teaching. Are we clear? So when I understand my relationship to Ishvara, my relationship to God, that is called love. Okay, and this love is nothing but, now love is called bhakti or devotion in spirituality. So I can love only what I am connected to, what I am related to. I am related to Ishvara, Bhagavan. How? Ishvara or Bhagavan is my essence. In essence, I am Ishvara. In essence, every wave is ocean. Is this understanding clear? Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam hradi esha arjuna tishtati. Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Ishvara is in the heart of all living beings. In my heart, Ishvara is there. God is in my heart. Means each wave is nothing but ocean, a form of ocean. Right? So from that perspective, I have to understand Jiva is nothing but Ishvara first level. And then there is a love. Now what is it? There is a love for everybody. Even though there's a competition now, love doesn't really eliminate the competition. The siblings of the same parent can still be competing, but they love each other. That's a universal love. Okay, this universal love is called bhakti, devotion. Right? When we call bhakti, this devotion is the first step, but devotion is not last step. Still, when there is a competition, there is a stress. The peace is not there. The peace is possible only when you understand you are Parabrahma, the supreme reality. All are nothing but water. Why? Then you understand a wave can disappear. Anything can happen to the wave. Wave can disappear in time, but the ocean is more constant or lives longer. Ocean can also change, but nothing happens to water. Water is the substratum. All of us are nothing but water. So for water, there's no birth and death. Water is eternal reality. Right? So then there's a deep peace. The fear of death, the fear of every fear goes. That is called Parashanti. That Parashanti is called Mukti, enlightenment. Is the spiritual journey clear? First level is there's love, bhakti. And then there is a peace by understanding the real nature of Jiva and Ishvara as water. Nothing but Parabrahma, pure awareness or pure consciousness. Right? So is this understanding clear now?
You use the word competition. On which context you use that competition? In individual spirituality.
No, it's not individual spirit. Individual spirituality. So I and
Bhagavan
is the father. Okay. So you are a great bhakta. I am still small. You can see God every day. Right? Okay. God is giving more to you. See, I am able to see a lot of more there. At the same time, comparison is there. Is from emotional disturbance of fear, jealousy, hatred, anger to a love or devotion called bhakti. In bhakti, we are connected to God, Ishvara or Brahman. How? As I am Ishvara. In the sense, I am not separate from Ishvara. A wave is not separate from ocean. But don't confuse Ishvara with the I. Ishvara is not I, individual Jiva. Individual Jiva is Ishvara. Gold ornament is, necklace is gold. Right? So from this perspective, we can still do puja, respect Ishvara, but understanding that my essential nature is Ishvara. Okay. So this is what is called entire spiritual journey. So what is how is the spiritual journey? I have given the example of water, ocean, and wave. Is this understanding clear? You can take it as a reference for your understanding of further teachings. Right?
Jiva, Ishvara, Parabrahma.
Okay. So next question is, I understood now Jiva, Ishvara, and Parabrahma. How are these related to two paths of Atma Vichara Marga and path of self-inquiry and path of self-surrender? What Ramana Maharshi told. So I told about two paths earlier. Path of self-inquiry and path of surrender. This is also called Vichara Marga and Karma Marga. That is what was told in Bhagavad Gita is Loke asmin dvivida nishta pura prokta mayanaga Jnana yogena sankhyanam karma yogena yoginam. There are only two paths. Path of karma yoga and path of Jnana yoga. There are only two paths. We get confused. There are so many paths in the world. Okay, there are only two paths. Path of karma yoga, progressive path. And Jnana yoga, we call it as direct path. There's a direct path and there's a progressive path. Okay, karma yoga is progressive path and direct path. So let us understand the difference between progressive path and direct path through another example, another analogy. Okay. So let us get to an example, analogy. There's a big tree is there. Big tree is there. Okay, the tree has to be cut. What is the approach to cut the tree? You can cut branch by branch. Okay, you can cut branch by branch. And once the tree, only the stem, the trunk remains, cut the trunk. So finally kill the tree. That's how you can do. There's another option. Instead of cutting the tree branch by branch, find out where the root of the tree is there and cut the root of the tree. The tree will die. Right? So the first is a progressive path. Where keep cutting branches of the tree, then finally cut the tree. Where keep cutting branches of the tree, then finally cut the tree. The second path is a direct path. Find the root of the tree and cut it. So the direct path approach is what Ramana Maharshi told as path of self-inquiry. Who am I? Find the root of our problem and cut it. Root of our problem is self-identity. I have forgotten my true nature. Jiva has forgotten that it is Parabrahman. The wave has forgotten that it's sun. The wave has forgotten that it's ocean, water. So find out who really you are. That's finding the root and cutting the root. This is called direct path. Are you clear? Whereas in the progressive path, you keep cutting branches, leaves, make the trunk, and then finally cut the trunk of the tree. And finally find the root also. So that's a progressive way, step by step. This is called Karma Yoga, path of Karma Yoga. So one is path of direct path. Find the root. Root is my ignorance. The Jiva doesn't know I am Parabrahman. The wave doesn't know I am water. Find out who you are and be done with it. This is the teaching of Sri Ramana Maharshi. This is called Vichara Marga, self-inquiry. This is also the path taught by Atmananda Krishna Menon and Nisargadatta Maharaj. More of Vichara Marga. Okay. So there is a progressive path or Karma Yoga Marga. What you do step by step. So I am suffering. Okay, I have a jealousy, I have a hatred, I have a anger. So let me start dropping one by one. How do I stop the dropping? First, I understand I am a part of the ocean. I am not saying I am ocean. I am part of the ocean. Accept it as a grace of the ocean, Ishvara. Jiva says, "Oh, I am a wave. I am dependent on the ocean. Everybody is a wave. So we are depending on the ocean, and we are dependent. It's the will of the ocean which I am living. So whatever work I am doing is because of the grace of the ocean. So from that point of view, a Jiva starts with the Karma Yoga, a service activity. Instead of satisfying itself, it thinks, okay, everything I am doing for Ishvara, ocean. I am working for God rather than myself. And whatever is God's will, whatever the will of the ocean, whether I die or survive, it's the will of ocean, will of Ishvara. So like that, he starts living. Okay, then he starts for actions in the form of Karma Yoga, a service. First, he says, whatever I do, good or bad, I accept it because it's a gift from the ocean. It's a gift from Ishvara. I don't have a choice. So from that, mind starts starts calming down. Then I say, then the wave says, then Jiva says, I am doing it as a service to the ocean. This is selfless activity so that I can understand the ocean better. I want to erase boundary between my Jivahood and oceanhood. Right? Ocean. So this is next level in the Karma Yoga. You start understanding that I am not the doer. It's the ocean which is the doer. Ishvara. So this is next level in the Karma Yoga. you start understanding that I am not the doer, it's the ocean which is the doer. Ishvara is the doer through me. So like that, gradually the hatred, jealousy starts coming down. Finally, the jiva recognizes oneness with the Ishvara. Jealousy starts coming down. Finally, the jiva recognizes oneness with the Ishvara. It is wave recognizes oneness with the water, which is called love, bhakti, devotion. So it's involved in the devotional service, bhakti yoga. And of course, he meditates on ocean. I am born out of ocean. I am one with the ocean. Like that, meditation happens. Okay, that's called bhakti yoga and karma yoga, and possibly some part of kriya yoga, where various type of breathing practices, meditation practices are involved. Raja yoga. So this is where from karma yoga you go to bhakti yoga. You start loving the entire totality of creation. So that's why it's called progressive path. You're not jumping. Okay, gradually then you start analyzing, understanding what is the relationship between water, ocean, and wave. Let me understand. Then studies the scriptures. It's called Brahma Vichar. Then understands, oh, this water. Then finally it realizes I am water. So then there's a deep peace. This is the progressive path. Whereas in Atma Vichara Marga, there's a direct question. Who am I really? I have a form, but what is the form? Water. Water. Oh, ocean is also water. Wave is also water. Every wave is water. That's why I am water. This is arrived at through enquiry. This is called Vichara Marga. Vichara Marga is the direct path, whereas the Karma Yoga Marga is the progressive path. Now, are they independent or dependent? Because most of the people have to go through some degree of Karma Yoga before they can go to Vichara Marga. It's not easy straight away to jump into self-inquiry. Right? A lot of people start with bhakti, devotion, service, and gradually as the mind becomes purified, peaceful, they start inquiring who am I and reach the self-realization. So Karma Yoga in a way prepares you for Jnana Yoga or Vichara Marga.
There are no two different paths.
Yeah, there's no difference. But only in case of some people, we say that they are able to straight away go to Vichara Marga because of their
That's what they have.
they have completed the Karma Yoga in the past life. Okay, so there are no two paths. There's only one path: path of Karma Yoga, path of progressive path, which will purify you, and then a path of self-inquiry, which will free you. Right. So the Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga are two paths. Out of that, Karma Yoga is, I told you, service, selfless service, devotion, bhajans, prayers, then also what we call as maybe different types of Raja Yoga practices like Kriya, Kundalini, and all the things. Then finally you come to Jnana Yoga. In Jnana Yoga, there are two parts. Okay. So Brahma Vichara and Atma Vichara. Brahma Vichara means inquiring into the nature of God, Supreme Reality, Brahman. Who is Ishvara? Who is Parabrahma? And who am I? How I am related to Ishvara? I am related to Brahma. Now this inquiry you cannot do because you need a reference. You need to understand from somewhere. So that inquiry is done based on the Vedantic teaching, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra. So Upanishad, Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita is Brahma Vichara. Okay, about God and how you are related to God. Okay. So constantly thinking and teaching based on the contemplation, based on the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, Upanishad, you understand your real relationship to Brahman. So then you realize I am Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Brahman. First level, I am Brahman means I am Ishvara. I am one with Ishvara. Second level, I am Brahman means I am Parabrahma. This understanding comes by contemplating on the teaching of Vedanta through Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa. Right? This is called Brahma Vichara. Jnana Yoga has a Brahma Vichara. Right? And Jnana Yoga has also Atma Vichara. So in Brahma Vichara, you take the help of Shastra, scriptures to contemplate. Here you have to do Shravana. Are you clear? So this requires study of different texts. Texts are Bhagavad Gita, 10 Upanishads, Ishavasya, Kena, Kathopanishad, Mandukya, Mundaka. There are 10 major Upanishads and there are 108 Upanishads. Study of these teachings, contemplation on teachings, and meditation on the teachings. Then Brahma Sutra is a logical way of explaining Upanishads. So this is called Prasthanatraya. The study of Prasthanatraya, contemplation on that, and it's called Brahma Vichara Marga. Brahma Vichara and Atma Vichara is same. So now, but the focus is on Brahman, God. Okay. So then you try to relate yourself to God. So then you put these Upanishads and Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita is difficult to understand because there's a common thread running through them. So for that, there are a lot of Prakarana Granthas are there. Prakarana Grantha means basic foundation texts. The foundation texts are Viveka Chudamani, then Drakdrisha Viveka, then Tattva Bodha, Atma Bodha, like that. Lot of Prakarana Granthas are there for you to helping you to understand Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Sutra, Upanishads. So this is a path. This is a Jnana Yoga Marga path, where focus is on Brahma Vichara, Brahma Chintana. Brahma Chintana and Atma Chintana go together. The path is Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa. Then the other path is there, which is called Atma Vichara Marga, where the focus is not on the Shastras, focus is not on scriptures, focus is on who am I, like Ramana Maharshi is teaching. So you inquire into you to know about yourself. You don't have to go through the scriptures, but your logic has to be sharpened, your understanding has to be sharpened, intellect has to be sharpened, guided by the logic, a higher level logic which will guide you into inner journey. That higher level logic is what you have to apply. By applying the higher level logic, ignorance of the mind is dissolved. I'm thinking I'm body, I'm not mind, I'm body, I'm husband, I'm wife. All this ignorance is dissolved. Finally, you realize yourself as pure awareness. This path of self-inquiry. Now, is the paths are clear? The Karma Yoga Marga is there. It's called Jnana Yoga Marga is there. Jnana Yoga Marga has two types. One is called Brahma Vichara, Brahma Chintana through Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad Chintana, contemplation, Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasa, or Atma Vichara, self-inquiry. Who am I? Who am I doesn't requires less of study, less of practices. It straight away goes into inquiring into your own nature. But it requires an inquiry. Who am I? The inquiry requires a logic, certain logic. This logic are called prakriyas, are processes. These processes are based on the higher level logic. So whether you study Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, or do self-inquiry, you need to work under the guidance of a realized master. Even on the path of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, always take the guidance from a realized master or we get lost. So Atmananda Krishna says the path of surrender to God as cosmic path or cosmological path, and self-inquiry he calls Atma Vichara Marga, cosmological path and individual consciousness based path, Jiva. So in the cosmological path or path of surrender, the focus is on Bhagavan or Ishvara. All my attention turns to Ishvara, surrender to Ishvara, serving the Ishvara. Whereas in the path of self-inquiry, the focus is on Jiva, myself. Right? Is it clear? So, if you take Tattvamasi, that thou art teaching, in the Karma Yoga and Brahma Vichara, the focus is on Brahman, which is Tat. Then, for Tat, Brahman, what is my relationship is found out. Whereas in Atma Vichara Marga, you straight away goes to Tvam Padartha, myself. I try to understand myself, and in the process, I understand Brahman. Right? So, in the cosmological path or path of surrender, I try to understand, I try to serve Brahman, Bhagavan, Ishvara, And in the process, I understand myself. Whereas in the self-inquiry, I try to understand myself. In the process, I understand Brahman, relationship to Brahman, oneness. So these are the two different paths. Is this example and analogy clear? Any doubts in this? Okay, now the question was, what is Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga? Okay, there's a teaching called Pravritti Marga and Nivritti Marga in Bhagavad Gita. Pravritti, vritti means thoughts. Nivritti means, Pravritti means more and more thoughts. Nivritti means less and less thoughts. So when our mind is focused on the world, competition, success and failure, jealousy and hatred, our thoughts will increase, which causes stress. When we take a spiritual journey, when we try to take karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, either progressive path or path of self-inquiry, our mind starts calming down. Thought starts reducing. It is nivritti, pravritti and nivritti. Pravritti and nivritti in traditional sense, they are translated into, pravritti means one who is getting into samsara in the form of family. Nivritti means one is taking some sannyasa. But that's a social meaning. Real meaning of pravritti is you are getting more and more worried and tensed up in life. It's called pravritti. You are becoming more and more peaceful and free from thoughts. It's called nivritti. Right? See, suppose you see, many people today are stressed out. They are worried, tensed up because their focus is on the world. And that's called pravritti. Pravritti creates a lot of stress. Nivritti means once you are in the world, but serving Ishvara in the form of karma yoga, bhakti yoga, and focus on self-inquiry, atma vichara, you are moving towards nivritti. Mind becomes less and less thoughts. Mind has less and less thoughts. It's called, mind becomes thought-free. It's called nivritti. Mind becomes silent. Okay? So this spiritual journey also I can give another example. Okay? What is spiritual journey? To make it more clear. A wave has to understand I am water. Wave has to understand I am water. How can wave understand I am water? So one way is stop becoming a wave. Just stop. Then you are water.
That again depends on the ocean.
That depends on the ocean. Okay. So there are two ways it's told. Yoga chittavrati nirodha. Stop the thought waves so that you realize your pure consciousness. Okay. It's called yoga marga. How you do? You do progressively through meditation. You try to stop the thoughts. But atma vichara marga of self-inquiry says you don't have to stop the thoughts. Okay. You have to inquire into the nature of thoughts. How thoughts are coming, why thoughts are coming, where the thoughts are coming from. So Ramana Maharshi says, find out the source of I thought. So you inquire into the source of thought. In the process, when you find the source, you become peaceful. You don't have to stop the thoughts. When you find the source, you reach no thoughts. The Atma Vichara Marga is finding into the source of thoughts. Yoga Marga is reducing the thoughts through karma, bhakti, and kriya yoga. Right? Progressive path involves reducing thoughts progressively. Atma Vichara Marga is finding the source of the thought straight away, directly. But it can happen parallel. Right? So this is what Ramana Maharshi told as Atma Vichara and Atma Vichara, path of self-inquiry and path of self-surrender. Karma Marga or Jnana Marga. Jnana Marga, of course, I have told two paths, right? Atma Vichara and Shastra Vichara. Shastra Vichara is Brahma Vichara. Right? So this Atmananda Krishna says cosmological path and the path of direct path. Self-inquiry calls direct path and other is called cosmological path. You bring the cosmology or the universe into picture. So which is right, which combination is right, it's depends on the individual. It's not that say one thing will fit in all. impressions you are reducing. Through Atma Vichara, you straight away get the reality. So becoming free.
You ask a question, how will wave understand that?
How will wave understand I am water? So can wave stop and stop itself and become water? So wave has to understand water by understanding its own nature. It's called path of self-inquiry. So the path of self-inquiry and the path of self-surrender are two paths. In reality, they are not independent paths. They are actually both are required for anybody. Okay, self-surrender, which is karma yoga, bhakti yoga, and kriya yoga, help you to reduce impressions, vasanas, make the mind more and more silent. Self-inquiry gives you jnana and frees you, enlightenment and mukti. We'll stop for today. Tomorrow we'll take up another topic.